We've reached habit number 5. Habit number 5 is quite an important habit, and it's been one that I've actually made an important one in my life, is seek first to understand, then to be understood. Our focus in life is so many times that people must understand us. You don't understand me, you don't get me, you don't know what I mean. To be a more happy person is to actually change the focus to, I would like to understand you more. I like to understand what's going on in your life. Maybe get more focus on a person's reactions. Why are they sad? Why are they upset? In a complex where I live, there's a lady number 100, which is really always upset, always grumpy, always fighting. If the kids are at the pool and they're a bit noisy, then she's coming out and complaining. And although there's no reason to complain, but she's always complaining. But I would just one day like to sit down with her actually and just find out what's going on in her life and why is she so upset? Why is she so sad? In counseling, and for a counselor, our goal is to do this, to understand. We're sitting with a client and we're trying to understand what's happening in their life. We're trying to understand what happened in their family of origin. We're trying to understand what's the cause of the issues that they're facing, or the fears, or what's the reason for the anxiety. Seek to understand and seek to be there for someone. That's why Covey says that we have to focus a bit more on the other person. We have to have more of an outward focus than an inward focus, because so many times we just focus on us, me, my reaction. How do I feel? How do I approach things? And who's hurting me? And what's going on with me? And why am I struggling? And why am I hurt? Why do you do that to me? Especially if you work with small kids or work in a primary school, you'll get a lot of that, like, she's nasty to me and she's hurting me and they're not talking to me. Where when we turn into adults, we actually have to change our focus. Instead of a me focus, an inward focus outside, focus on the people around us, and focus on understanding. In the counseling room, we listen to stories, we ask questions, open questions, we do closed questions, we do paraphrasing, we use all our micro skills, and the main goal is to understand. The main goal is to seek to understand. So for a few moments, I would like you to just reflect on understanding. So next time when you sit with a client or sit with someone, maybe a family member who's upset with you, try and understand where it comes from, rather than, what have I done wrong? Why don't they understand me? Why don't they get me? I would rather see you trying to understand why they are upset, rather than why you are upset. Seek first to understand. Seek first to look at the people around you. Seek first to look into their worlds. Seek first to what they're experiencing. I once was a teacher in Africa, an accountancy teacher, and those of you that studied accountancy will know that your books have to be immaculate. I had a year 8 kid, a year 8 girl, and she brought her books to me, her general ledger. I'll never forget this. And as she brought her book was full of oil. You know, oil was everywhere. There was this oil spilled mess on her book. And I was quite upset with her, and I said to her, like, what's going on? And why is your book like this? And then she looked me in the eyes and says, sir, I was cooking while I was doing my homework. Something broke inside of me when she had said that, because when I realized that I've got a year 8 girl a 13-year-old who probably went home to a shack in Africa where she lives and probably taking care of her kid, her little brothers and sisters, and mom's probably working late or mom's not there, and she's cooking. And while she's cooking, she's also trying to do her homework. Seek first to understand before you judge. That was a valuable lesson to me, and this is something that I will never ever forget. I'll never forget that girl. I forgot her name, but I will never forget the look in her eyes when she said to me, "Sir, I was cooking when I did my homework." Seek first to understand. Seek first to realize why people act the way they do before we judge them. Just a thought.